How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is Indeed Gaming here. I am, in fact, Mr. Indeed, and welcome to my channel. Please do like, share, and comment on this video, and we're going to get right into it. Now, as I said in the other video, I was considering talking about a Assassin's Creed hero, and I feel like an Assassin's Creed hero, obviously not a historically accurate hero to be fair, would really fit this game well. And not only would I think this character would fit this game well, I think for what they're going for, this character would fit in multiple different ways. In a good way, I should say. One, if you wanted to, you could do an entire faction of this. Like you could do you could do a Creed faction, whatever you want to call it. Because like if you play a game like Unity, and then the unfortunate mess that Assassin's Creed games are now, you can use pretty much any weapon. You can use a heavy two-handed sword or a heavy two-handed axe or something like that, or a big mace. So you could do a heavy character. You could easily do a hybrid character. You could do a Vanguard character. You could do Assassin character. You could do any type of character with the Assassin's Creed faction, just because they're pretty much anything. Their weapons vary, their size vary, their culture varies. It's like, and that's excuse me. That's why even with the Outlanders faction, which is where I would put one, just because I don't think we don't need to put another faction in the game. If I'm being honest, I think they're making the Outlanders faction before they catch the Wulin faction up, when they still haven't made characters with the like of say a Lu Bu or a I don't know, Zhang Fei. They don't have a spear hero in their team, which, to be fair, spear heroes functionally wouldn't seem that different than the monk, but they could do a lot to a spear hero to make them seem different than the monk. Like, there's still a lot that they haven't done with the Wulin faction. It's not like there's nothing they could do. Like, there's just no ideas out there. There's nothing. The Wulin faction just has a bare and basic and limited amount of weapons and armor that they could give these characters. That's not true. I have no idea why they haven't finished that faction or why they haven't been adding to it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, adding the assassins, like the Assassin's Creed, to the Outlanders, this gives them some what's the way I could say this? This, I would say, gives them more creative freedom in a way. Because say you want to make a African warrior, like, and I don't mean like an Egyptian, I mean like an actual African, let me not say actual African, because technically Egyptians are African. I guess I should say a black one. Someone from the Ghana or the Somalia type area. You could do that with the Assassin faction a little better. Well, Assassin's Creed hero a little better, because as far as I can tell, they don't really have a vast amount of armor or different weapons that they use in those cultures. At least not like back in the day. Like they don't have like full sets of heavy armors or anything like that I know of anyway. So it would give them a way to make one of those characters, would make them fit a bit more into the game as far as like armor and weapons go. And then when it comes to weapons for the Assassin's Creed, again, you could use pretty much anything. And then, you could go Indian, you could go Native American, you could go pretty much any culture with the Assassin's Creed, because they go back so far. And they were also just kind of sort of everywhere. Like, if you ever look up the concept arts that have been done for Assassin's Creed, both by Ubisoft and by just people just drawing the characters in different cultures, there's just so much. There's so much you could do with them. And then even for the factions that they could fit in right now, like they could fit into the samurai faction, they could fit into the knights, they could fit into the Vikings, the Wulin, and I would even argue that that type of character for the Outlanders would even make sense. So then you have you have a character like what's this man's name? Griffin. So you have a character like Griffin. Now say it wasn't the guy from the story mode. Say it was just some character that had armor and themed weapons from each faction. You could put this character into the Outlanders, that type of character into the Outlanders faction, because yeah, they could kind of fit in there, but they don't necessarily fit in there because they have something from every faction. So they're not, it's not just a samurai, but he has a knight armor on. It's not just a knight, but he's wearing Wulin armor. It's like he has everything, or she has everything. It doesn't matter. It's like, so for me, even if they were to fit the assassin from the Assassin's Creed game that they put into that I'm advocating for them to put in the Ubisoft game. Well, For Honor. I don't know why I can't talk right now, but even if they were to fit them into existing factions as far as what some of their armor and some of their weapons look like, in my opinion, it would still make sense. It's like, this person's in the Outlanders faction. They do have access to Viking armor. It's like, but they also have access to Wulin style armor. They also have access to samurai style armor. They also have access to knight style armor. And then you could just do something random for some of their armor. Because I mean, each character has more than just 4 armor sets to them. So it's like, so you could give them a samurai armor. It's like, but then you could also give them, like, one of their other sets is Indian style. Another set is African style. Another set is Native American style. Like, they're such a versatile type of hero that they could put into the game from this character that they actually wouldn't be limited. They actually could have very much more creative freedom than they have when they create a Chinese hero wearing Chinese gear, speaking Chinese, and just say they're not a Wulin because, you know. So I would advocate for them putting an Assassin's Creed assassin hero in the Outlander faction, or just in the game in general. I will put them in the Outlanders faction personally, because I don't think that we need another. Even though they could, like I said, they could make an Assassin's Creed faction, I don't think we need any more factions right now. We need to finish the factions that we actually have in the game. Yeah, but I think that's all I really have to say on it. What do you guys think? Do you think that this would be a good idea, them putting an Assassin's Creed hero in the game? I mean, because they do these Assassin Creed special events and stuff like that. Ubisoft does own Assassin's Creed, so it's not like it would be hard for them to get the rights to them. It's like they could just do it. So let me know what you guys think. What type of armor would you like to see for an Assassin's Creed hero? Do you think that they should just go straight Indian Assassin's Creed assassin and only give them Indian armor? Or do you think that they should go switch between cultures of what you can do with them? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next one. Indeed.